again. How do you like that?
Here for the holidays with a huge cookie show for you guys.
And we have a lot of guests coming too.
Yep, we're going to have a lot of individual recipes. Everybody's got a family recipe, so you're going to love this show.
And I'm playing a recipe from Germany, of course, and it's Pfeffernüsse.
Now this is the cookie you have to have.
You have to have it, and when you have that cookie, you got to have some Glühwein with that.
Glühwein?
Glühwein.
That's a liqueur, I'm guessing.
That's a wine.
Okay. Here,
it's like a spice wine with a spice cookie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have a lot of spice.
I know, look at that. So are we going to get started?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's put a stick of butter in there.
You're doing this all by hand.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not the one with the, the modern equipment, so.
Yeah, well, us guys like the power tools.
And this way, you don't get flabby arms.
Hey, that's why you look so good.
Okay, now we're going to put some molasses in there.
Alrighty.
Grandma's molasses. We're going to take a half a cup. Look at how thick that is. Do you like molasses?
Oh yeah, we have this every day at home. It's a really good health benefit, the blackstrap molasses.
Just a quarter cup of honey. My little honey bear always goes with me wherever I go. Now we have the butter in there, the molasses, okay, and the honey. And now we're going to get this thing going.
Okay.
And
now
I'm going to put a couple of eggs in there, okay?
And everything in here was room temperature?
Yes. Nice soft butter. 2 eggs. Garbage bowl. And we're going to use 3/4 cup of sugar now, okay?
Okay. 3/4 cup? You need to continue mixing this?
Yeah. Half a cup of the brown sugar.
All right.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to have 1 cup of, actually we take 4 cups, but we're going to start with 1, okay? And you know me, I like to sift everything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they say especially for cakes, you should be sifting.
I know.
And most of the food services, it's mechanized now, so there's always a chance that you'll find a staple.
And we're using baking soda, okay, 1.
Okay.
And a half, okay?
This is getting thick now.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to.
Is that all the flour you put in?
No, 4 cups. Okay, now we got all the stuff in. Now comes the, now we're going to put in our spices. Okay, now it comes the good stuff.
All the spices.
All the spices, and look at how much, okay? So we have 1 teaspoon of clove, okay?
Okay.
So that's what the color comes in, okay? And 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Nice.
Do you love it? And guess what this is? Cardamom. You know what that is?
Cardamom.
Cardamom?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I don't say it right.
You use it a lot in Indian dishes.
That's 1 1/2.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's my favorite nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
1 teaspoon. And then we have 1 teaspoon ginger. And now comes the kicker, salt and pepper.
Okay.
How is that? Just a half a teaspoon.
Which
okay?
brings us to the name of the cookie.
Yeah, Pfeffernüsse. Pfeffer means pepper.
Pfeffernüsse.
Okay. That's the 2nd cup.
Okay.
And now comes,
really get that fragrance.
Now comes the, oops. That's our 3rd cup. Last cup. And we're going to be sifting it.
Okay.
Now you have to get that, you need 4 cups of flour, okay? Otherwise it's not going to work.
It's got to be the right consistency.
Yeah.
And that's baking. You have to keep to the recipe.
Yes. There. And now you just have to work it and work it. That's going to take a little bit till you have it all under there.
I like the way you say that. Now you have to work it and work it.
I'm sorry. I always make you work, don't I? But that's okay. This is why we get along so good.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
I think so. I think so. You keep me working, it keeps my mouth shut. I know how it works.
And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours.
Or overnight, you say?
Overnight if you like, And you're all set to make cookies the next day. So. Okay, now we have a batch made already, and just see how nice and cold it is?
Okay.
Now we're going to spray a cookie sheet.
Now, will that affect, in that you chilled it, is that going to affect the way it spreads out?
No. That's why it's a little mountain, see? It stays better that way.
Okay, nice.
Because if it is too soft and too warm, it goes like zit, like that.
Yeah, like a ginger snap would.
I know. See, now all we do is this. Have it nice and straight. And now look at the little mountain. Now, isn't that cute?
And that's going to stay up pretty much that height?
Stays like that, yeah.
Wow.
Just a little, it goes a little bit, See? That's all you need. Now, Mitch, look how nice they look.
Perfect.
They look like little soldiers sitting in the row, don't they?
Okay. Yeah, little marching wood soldiers for
Yes.
Christmas.
And
okay.
now we're going to put them in the oven at 325 for about 15 minutes. Kind of check them, but not more than 20. That's not too much. Okay, 15 minutes is fine. 325.
Okay. In we go. And we should rotate these about halfway through?
Halfway through, yes, because you know how the top goes.
Yeah, I think it's safe that way, always to move them around.
Yes, very nice. Now I can't wait to have you taste one.
Yep, I'm waiting.
For an authentic diner experience, look no further than the Steel Trolley Diner in downtown Lisbon, Ohio. Award-winning hamburgers with all of your favorite toppings, fresh cut fries and onion rings, delicious milkshakes, and some of the best homemade pies you'll find anywhere. Stop by the marketplace and pick up Steel Trolley's original topping sauces, t-shirts, and classic candies. For hometown service and great food, visit the Steel Trolley Diner in Lisbon, Ohio today. Follow us on Facebook or at steeltrolleydiner.com.
Hi, today we're here, as you know, we're doing the cookies, and these are a traditional Italian cookie. And this is Ron's sister, this is Roz, and this is Vanessa, his niece, and they're going to show me something that I've never made before.
These are my mother's recipe. They are a traditional pizzelle, and you always knew it was the holidays when you could smell the anise in the air, and it just hit you, and you knew it was time to celebrate. So let's just get started. First of all, I'm going to explain what these are. If nobody's ever made pizzelles before, these are, well, they're smoking hot right now. They're the traditional pizzelle iron. If you don't know where to get one, there's a couple of places in the area. Rulli Brothers carries them, and so does Jimmy's Italian Specialties in Liberty, I believe. And right now they're all ready for us. So let's get started. I'm starting out with, I have 6 room temperature eggs in the bowl here, already cracked and ready to go. And I'm going to have Vanessa add our oil. We're going to whisk in our wet ingredients first. Have a cup of oil. Okay, Vanessa's mixing together just a regular basic vegetable oil with 6 eggs, whole eggs at room temperature. And traditionally, my mother used 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Add it in. And I mean, you can make this your own. You can add whatever flavorings you want, but traditionally we did the anise in our family. You can add almonds. You can just do vanilla. You can do a mixture of all 3, and they make amazing flavors. And right now I'm going to add 2 full tablespoons of anise oil. Now this is pure anise oil I got at the drugstore.
So not extract, you want to use the oil?
Yeah, I use the oil.
Right.
I mean, you can use either, but I think this has a more authentic, stronger flavor.
Yeah, it seems to.
You know, it's wonderful. And that's the traditional flavor that, we could just smell all through the house.
Yeah, I love that.
Now once you have the wet ingredients in there, I'm going to go ahead and add the sugar. And that's your sweetness. That's 1 cup of sugar. So I'm going to alternate the flour. I have 3 cups of flour here, and it can vary a little bit. You might have to add more, or you could add less, because it's all about the thickness. So I'm going to put about half, and then I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You want it so it almost holds its shape a little bit.
Look at that, it does stand up, doesn't
Yep,
it?
it stands up in there.
See, I didn't believe you when you told me.
And it has a glossy look to it. Basically what you want to do is, you want to take almost like a rounded teaspoon and put it directly in the center. We have dueling pizzelle irons right now. And I usually give or take about a minute, and I have myself a handy little timer here that as soon as I get it in there, I squeeze a little bit, lock it into place, and let my timer go for a minute.
Got my handy little timer right over here.
Okay, now when they come out, they're pretty pliable, and I usually just set them on a paper towel to cool, because there is a little bit of oil that will come off of them. And then once they're hardened up, I think we have one that's crisped
nice and
up.
crisp. That doesn't take long either, huh?
No, they crisp up quickly, and they have a great flavor.
Oh, these are fabulous.
And that's the holidays to me right there in my hands.
Visit metromonthly.net for some of the coolest Mahoning Valley logo wear anywhere. We've got Idora Park, Straus's, Warren G. Harding, Rayan, Red Barn, and so much more. Visit metromonthly.net and click on the store icon today.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm here today with Mason and my daughter Maddie. Mom and Mitch are off on a little coffee break. So we came to make a no-bake, easy little treat my aunt used to make when I was little, and asked around, not too many people remember it or knew about it, so I thought it might be a fun thing to kind of bring back into the family. So Madison's over there stirring some butter and marshmallows. Madison, you can bring that over if it's all stirred up together. Good. What we have is a half a cup of butter and 3 cups of marshmallows. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some green food coloring to it because we're going to make wreaths. And you just stir it up to the color that you want it to be. And you kind of want to go a little dark because once you add the next ingredient, it kind of lightens it up a little bit. So it looks pretty dark, but it'll lighten up. Mason, we're going to add 4 cups of cornflakes. It's kind of along like a Rice Krispie treat type deal. Okay, thank you. And then you don't want to crush them because then you'll just have crumbs. And get it all incorporated. And for a little added flavor, you can add vanilla, you can add almond extract, you can add any additional flavoring that is to your liking. Okay, so what I like to do is take a little shot glass to use as a mold. You end up kind of smushing it all around anyhow, but you need a base. So we're gonna take some of the mess, and this is where it's good to spray your hands because it gets sticky, and this is where the kids like it because of the sticky mess. They have fun shaping things. And then once you get your base down like that, you can take the shot glass out and then just kind of tighten it up a little bit. A cookie cutter is an easy way. You just fill it up and press it in there. Is that good? You need a little more in there? And just press it down into all the crevices and nooks in there. And what we did, what you could do is split the batch, and we made a red batch and we made a green batch, and for the red batch we made some candy cane. And you can use any candy. I knew somebody that took mini gummy bears and they put them on, and it was like a little mini gummy bear wreath. So it's all on what you want to do. So you just can let these sit for just till they cool off, and they'll harden up a little bit, and they're ready to be served.
Visit Jimmy's Italian Specialties on Belmont Avenue in Liberty, and you will find the area's most complete selection of Italian foods and spices. The best old world homemade bread baked daily, a complete deli with fresh meats, cheeses, and daily lunch specials. Delicious homemade cakes, cookies, and desserts. A huge selection of imported olives, wines, and so much more. Have a gift basket or cookie tray made up for your special occasion. Stop by Jimmy's today.
Now and for the future, YSU Metro College, serving everyone's personal and professional needs.
Well, Stacy, it's so nice to meet you.
It is so nice
and
to be here.
And are you making a fantastic cookie, I heard.
Almond butter cookies.
Oh,
it is
sounds
one of the cookies that I just started making, and
Okay.
it's got a real nice light taste to it, but you can taste the almond. It's wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay, you can eat like 6 at a time?
Something like
Yes,
that.
something like
Easily,
that.
not a problem.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to start off with a 1.75 cup of flour that I've already got pre-measured
Okay.
and leveled off. Thanks to Mitch, I got it leveled. It's all
Okay.
good. To that, we're going to add, it is going to be a 1/4 cup of sugar.
Okay.
We're going to do that. And then it calls for 3/4 cup of butter. I like
Okay.
room temperature, softened butter. It calls for a pinch of salt.
There you go.
So I will
Right
use
there.
just a pinch. I am not big on salt. I like mixing it by hand, or mixing it so I can look and see what it's looking
Sure.
like. So we're going to get this and just break down the butter.
Okay. Okay, now what are we going to put in? You put a flavoring in?
What I am going to do is add, it calls for 1 teaspoon of almond flavor,
Okay.
so I will go ahead and add that and incorporate
Oh, that's
that in.
strong.
Oh,
Smells delicious.
it does, it does, and it just brings out the scent and the aroma. And it's a little crumbly, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's fine.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and refrigerate this,
Okay.
and then we're going to make the topping. I tend to use roasted almonds, which already have a
Oh.
deeper flavor.
Yes.
And it calls for the almonds to be toasted. So what I do in the food processor is I go ahead, ground them up,
Okay.
and they're really fine pretty much, and put them in the oven
Oh.
and toast it. So they're roasted
Roasted
and
and
toasted.
toasted.
So they're very flavorful
Wow.
and full of, and these are already salted, so they carry their own salt.
Okay.
So they're roasted, toasted, and then they're buttered. And the butter seeps in, and it just makes this really nice
Okay.
thing. So what we do with the nuts is we incorporate with that 1/4 cup of sugar
Okay.
and 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Okay.
And we add that and mix it in, and you have this nice textured topping that is going to go on the cookie.
Okay, now you got to put your muscles to work.
Yes. It gives you a little workout. The recipe does call for it to be rolled into a rectangular shape.
Okay.
Squares, or rectangular
Yes,
shape.
sure.
That looks thick enough. So go ahead and
Okay.
give it a shot.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
Little stars.
There you go. Twinkle, twinkle.
Definitely.
star.
And then what we will do is go ahead,
Okay.
transfer
Okay.
these onto.
Let you do that. You have the knife.
So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the nut, sugar, and cinnamon mixture, and we are going to brush these lightly with some of the egg whites so that the nuts will stick to it. Thank you, thank you. And then once we get them all done, we are going to go ahead and put them in the oven and bake them for about 15 minutes. You know, you want them lightly brown. You don't
Okay.
want them really deeply brown, lightly brown.
The Mocha House is downtown Warren's favorite place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Enjoy one of our classic breakfast offerings or a delicious sandwich or salad. Work or relax with our free Wi-Fi, and don't forget to try all of our homemade desserts, scones, muffins, and our famous New York-style cheesecakes. We also offer catering and can host your special event for up to 100 guests. We're open 7 days a week with dinner entrees and daily specials. Visit the Mocha House today. If you're tired of seeing this every time you try to use the toaster with the microwave, it's time to call Tedco Electric. With over 25 years of commercial and residential experience, call Tedco for all of your electrical needs. Call 330-720-8587. Licensed, insured, and affordable, call Tedco Electric today.
All right, well, we're here with Tiffany Vitucci. You should remember Tiffany from the Thanksgiving Day show. And you're going to make us an Italian kolache cookie?
I am. It's good to be back. Yeah, this was a recipe that my father's mother made. So we've got, let's see, 1/2 cup of butter, which I'm going to throw in my mixer here, and 1/2 cup of Crisco. We're going to add our sugar. was 1 cup of sugar. And let's get our mixer going here.
Nice mixer, by the way.
Thank you very much. I brought it from home. It's just easier for me. I like the stand mixer. I know a lot of people, you can do this by hand, don't be intimidated, or with a hand mixer, not a big deal. Okay. All right, we're back, and I'm going to put in, I'm going to add the egg, just like you would with almost any other cookie dough recipe. We're going to let that mix a little bit.
So just 1 egg for the whole recipe?
Just 1 egg. Can you believe that? 4 cups of flour and only 1 egg.
Yep.
And then I'm going to add my vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're ready to add our flour and our 1 cup of milk.
Just alternately, you want to just add a little bit
We'll
at a
start
time?
with the flour. I'll slow this down a little for you. Okay, Mitch, so we just got done mixing all of the dough, and I'm going to get this out of the bowl and on the counter, and I'm going to roll it.
That's when you roll it out. Okay.
Yeah. We're not going to roll it into cookies yet because this is going to have to go in the fridge. Ideally for about an hour or 2. You could do it overnight though, and that would be
But it doesn't really
perfect. But it doesn't matter. A couple of hours is fine. So it's soft. It's a soft dough, but it's a workable dough. It's not real hard to work with. So I'm going to just kind of make a circle, flatten it out a little bit, and basically I'm going to cut it into like 4 relatively even sections.
That makes it easier for you to work with.
Exactly, because that way I can pull a piece out.
Yeah, smaller
Instead of
portion.
taking the whole dough out, I can take 1 out at a time, work with it.
That'll be like 1 cookie pan. Or...
Exactly. Okay, so we're back now. We're going to do the filling for the cookies. Since it's a kolache cookie, we're going to have a kolache filling with walnuts. So I ground the walnuts in my food processor, so it's kind of a coarse,
Nice, yeah.
not a real fine ground, because you don't want to make walnut butter.
Right.
You want ground nuts.
And you're adding all these other ingredients.
Exactly. So you want it to kind of hold up a little bit. So I'm going to add to the walnuts, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. And this is my addition to the recipe. This was not my grandmother's. I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, because I like cinnamon in my kolache. So I thought, why not in the cookies? Now I'm going to add 1 stick of melted butter. And again, we're going to mix. Then we're going to add 4 egg whites. Thank you. And that's it. That's all there is in the filling. And you just want to make sure that gets in there real well, because otherwise you'll have gooey spots and dry spots. Basically, I'm going to roll this the way you would roll a pie crust. So turn it a little bit so you kind of get an even circle. I didn't actually measure this. I'm guessing it's about 12, 14 inches in diameter once you get it to this, you know. This is about, I think I measured it out to about a cup, roughly, of the nut
For
filling.
each quarter of your dough.
For each quarter. You may end up with a little more or a little less. It just depends on how thick you like them.
And you got this just to room temperature, so it spreads real nice.
Exactly, exactly. Because like I said, you can do the nut filling ahead of time and put it in the fridge, but you want to bring it to room temperature because you'll never get it on the dough without ripping it. You want to kind of get an even layer on it. You can kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we have this.
Now you're scaring me.
So we're going to cut this, and again, it's not going to be even, but kind of like a pizza. Start at the wide end of the crescent and just roll it up towards the center.
That's
And
easy
about
enough.
it.
Very nice.
And it comes right off.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Now the other thing you can do, this also works too, if you make them a little smaller, I found if you roll them up the same way and you set them on the tray that
Then
way,
you've got a spiral.
then you've got a spiral.
Yeah.
Now we've got these all on a line with parchment paper, cookie sheet. I just find it's a lot easier to deal with to get them off the sheet than to grease the cookie sheet.
And to clean.
And clean. 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes.
I make a little icing. I already did that
I
because
did
we're
too.
running out of time, you know.
Right.
So I just want to, I kind of double dipped them a little bit here like this. See, I dipped them
Okay,
before.
so they're nice and thick
Yeah,
now.
I just had lemon juice, a little bit of milk, and our powdered sugar. You take your fingers and you just swirl them around like this, trip them a little bit. And
Very nice.
there you go. I put some powdered sugar in here, and I have some of the Pfeffernüsse in here. And I know my little granddaughter Maddie, she loves powdered sugar. So we always
What child
have to,
doesn't love powdered sugar?
we have to make them like this, see? And don't they look beautiful?
They are beautiful. I just
Okay.
take a little bit of the frosting
Yeah, that looks nice.
and drizzle it over the top.
And I guess we can't
Like
lick the
that.
fingers in between?
Well, not on
No.
camera. And then you throw on your little decorations to make
Oh,
them
that
look
look
pretty while
beautiful.
the icing is nice
Yes.
and wet.
Hey, what is this thing?
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? It's a little carousel-like. It has the nativity set there. My mother-in-law's actually sent this from Germany maybe 50 years ago. I have it forever.
That's
And,
really cool.
It's conking out a little bit. You notice that it's getting old too, just like we are.
Well-
No, we're
The
not having
candles
that.
have burned down a little bit,
Yes.
you know, as we
But,
do it.
Yeah,
now.
I put that on my table every year.
That's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
It's very
It is.
pretty.
Oh, look at all those beautiful cookies over here.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that excellent? And I made our favorite, the Pfeffernüsse from Germany, one with the glaze and one with the powdered sugar.
And I made the almond butter stars.
Beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
And my daughter and I, we made the pizzelles for this holiday.
And me, Mason and Maddie, made some Christmas cereal treats.
And that adds great
Beautiful.
color to the
I
table.
love the color.
Nice and bright.
Yes.
I made the traditional Toll House cookie, which, as you probably saw, we can make a couple different ways. This is like my grandmother made it.
And I made the Italian kolache cookies. For those of you who don't want to make the whole kolache, you can make the cookie.
Very nice, very nice.
And if you guys didn't notice, we have some beautiful decorations from Creative Designs in Niles. These are Bill's handiwork, and you guys should all try to visit him. He was very supportive.
And of course, we're drinking the best coffee in town.
Ah, thank you very much.
Happy holidays from Homeplate!